Good evening. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd. The time is 6 o'clock on the dot. This is a regular meeting of the City Council for the City of Trinidad. Just for note, we had a special meeting scheduled for 5:30, an executive session for legal advice. We did not have a quorum, so the special meeting has been rescheduled for Monday at 3 o'clock. Would you all please stand to the flags? Come on, you know. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1 on the agenda, roll call.
DeBono,
Here.
Shu,
Here.
Thurman, Trujillo,
Here.
Ogletree, Williamson,
Here.
Griego.
Here. Item number 2, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
call the vote, please.
Shu,
Yes.
Trujillo,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
DeBono,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item number 3, policy items and staff reports. Do we have anything?
Mayor, Council, just a couple of quick things. I wanted to highlight a couple of pieces of legislation that are being considered at the House level. And I've asked the mayor to provide a couple of letters of support. So the first one is state funding for higher education projects. So there is a bill that would provide funding for actually 4 educational institutions, Trinidad State College being one of them. And what it would do is expand their Valley campus, their main building in Alamosa, to provide enhanced services for medical training and really help out with their medical program. So while not specifically in Trinidad, obviously they're a part of who we are, and there would be the potential that they could train people there in Alamosa, and then they would be eligible to work here in our medical community. So definitely great legislation for them to have. I did do some research. It looks like there hasn't been renovations to the building for over 23 years, so much needed, and it would really help them out. And then the other one is the state is looking at, there's a bill been introduced to really expand the use of historic tax credits, and obviously for Trinidad, that's a big deal. So a couple of highlights for that is, I think right now I want to say it's about 35% is the funding level. That would increase up to 40% in terms of tax credits for projects. So that's definitely a good thing. And then it also, not that it matters for Trinidad because we're older, but it would chop down from 50 years to 30 years eligibility for historic buildings. But we do have some recently that may fall under that. But the big thing is just the expanded opportunities for funding. For those of you who were at the Temple-Aaron landmarking, really big deal, but Temple-Aaron does need some updates, needs a new roof, that type of thing. So these are the types of things that this money would fund, and we want to make sure we have access to as much as possible. So I just wanted to highlight those 2 things, and I'll certainly answer any questions anyone has.
No questions?
No questions. Great, thank you guys.
Okay, thank you, Steve. That's it.
Absolutely.
Okay, item number 4, petitions of communications, oral or written. Dan Rossetti. Was this today? Okay. I couldn't read if it was.
Central Park.
Yeah, okay.
Good afternoon, folks. As you know, a couple weeks ago, I got up and spoke about Central Park, what was going on at Central Park. I thought there might have been some questions asked by someone, someplace, anywhere. You really wonder why people hit social media, and that's because nothing's ever said. People speak at these meetings, nothing's done. Chronicle News put 1 sentence in the paper on the back page, and that is why people hit social media. So I'm here today to ask you to be put on the agenda for the work session on Monday, so I could ask questions and get answers. I believe, Mayor, that's what you said you had to do. Get on an agenda of a work session, because that's when you people are allowed to answer questions.
Anything else?
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Tom Murphy?
Good things. Well, Mr. Ritter was just talking about tax credits, and I just want to give you a success story. After 42 years of remodeling, because I'm at all these meetings, I got the Chappelle House, which is also Miller Murphy Funeral Home, designated as a local landmark. I was one of the first, I think, along with the library, and they're doing more. And with that, I was able to go back because 2 years ago I did my roof, and I'm always working on it. And so we're on the final step. I just need to get my receipts together, and it's a fairly significant amount of money. I'm not sure the exact amount, because it kind of depends on my receipts, and then we can sell it for up to 90% or a little bit more. Anyway, the point of this is just sharing a success story. If others want to see it, and I'll be able to share it with people. It's not a lot of fun financially to restore a historic building, but I've been doing it for 40-some years. And so because we did all these things in historic preservation, I'm pretty excited because we're getting ready to do a new business on the side that I've been trying to do for 5 or 6 years. And then when you go around by the Century Savings and drive-through, we rototilled this last week. I tried to do this several years ago, but we're creating a labyrinth down there, and we're going to create a mandala, and so that you can go. It's called grounding. You can walk in the dirt, and help heal and do some things, and so it's going to be spruced up. But again, the tax credits. I'll be happy to do a presentation for others at some point because it's involved. You got to keep your good records of what you've done, and in the end, it's going to be well worth it for me as a small business to have those sort of type of resources available. So, go tax credits.
Thank you, Tom. Item 5, consent agenda approval. Item 5A, approval of the regular meeting minutes of March 19th, 2024. Approval of special events permit application, malt, vinous, and spirituous filed by Brick City Roller Derby at 204 South Chestnut Street, which is Fort Wooten, on April 20th, 2024. Is there somebody here?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Her t-shirt indicates.
Okay. I don't have my glasses on. Item 5C, approval of letter of support for Holy Trinity Apartments. Item 5D, approval of bills in the amount of $1,881,520.11. And I noticed in there we had to do a quarterly payment to CERSIS, so that was almost $200,000. Item 5E, approval of payroll for March 30th, 2024 through April 12th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the vote, please.
Trudell,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
DeBono,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 6, public hearings. There are none. Item 7, unfinished business. There is none. Item 8, miscellaneous business. There is none. Item 9, city council reports. Mr. DeBono, do you have anything?
Well, just that the Los Angeles County Veterans at the Fort Wooten, they're gonna host the Brick City Roller Derby April 20th at 4 p.m. And that's at Fort Wooten, that's a Saturday. And I told Stacy that she started on 4/20 since it's April 20th.
Yeah, we weren't sure if we wanted to do that because it's a family event and we don't know if we really want to.
Okay.
It was kind of just worked out to be that date, wasn't really a plan.
But it is gonna start at 4 PM.
It is gonna start at 4 p.m.
That's it.
Greg,
Nothing to report this week.
Manny,
Nothing until Friday.
Aaron,
So we did have South Central Council of Governments meeting. I would say there was not too much to speak of, particularly that was during our regular meeting last week, board meeting. We did have a special meeting where South Central Council of Governments is joining with 4 other regional COGs, and we're going to request a government funding for a study that will look at the impact of green energy. And that's hopefully to, it's gonna be a $250,000 study with a $25,000 local match of that, our COG between Los Angeles County and Warfano County is matching basically, let's call it $5,000. The regional plan would be to determine green energy impact to the area, whether positive or negative, and how to mitigate negative impacts. Some examples are wildlife impact, rural property impact and the like, and then ways to mitigate that or help minimize it, and then ways and ideas to maximize the gain out of those green energy products. The intent is as the state grows in energy needs and requirements to fund green energy mandates continue to grow, the plan is to make Los Angeles County, Warfano County, and the other involved counties, which are primarily east and northeast of here, as attractive destinations for federal dollars to boost green energy capability. So as the intent, the hope is to develop jobs while minimizing negative impacts to the area. So I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. I know I had one request, if I may, actually potentially 2 requests. On an upcoming work session, I think it would be a really good idea, and Mayor, I believe we've spoken about this too, to have an update on the various projects. I mean,
yes.
I think that it'd be really, really helpful if we went through major projects one by one and not have an exhaustive look at them, but at least a level, and where necessary, specific level review of all projects, and potentially even how projects are bid out and the like. I think that'd be a valuable discussion. Secondly, I was speaking to several area game wardens and was able to see the impact of what I guess would be considered bare drugged off material, and just so many arroyos around Trinidad are just inundated with trash, and that leads to a lot of other issues besides just the bears, and they're too numerous to mention here. I really feel that it would be worthwhile to pursue some sort of ordinance that would help put us on the path to making Trinidad a less attractive location for bears to be. I mean, there's a lot of negative wildlife interaction that could be saved, and actually a lot of city costs that could be saved. I think that's something I really, really would like to see. If anyone else is joining in that desire to see it, I'd appreciate it. That's everything that I have, Mayor.
Did you make note of that?
I did.
Yes.
No,
I thought you were raising.
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, here's one thing. Didn't we have a project last year that we were gonna do all the arroyos from Arizona? We only did one section. Are we still planning on doing that?
Yeah, that is something that is on Rich's radar, so we need a status update on that too, and I do too, but yes, it is definitely contemplated and it's out there, so.
I don't have much for mine either. I just wanted to advise council that on March 26th was J. Chimino Day in Colorado Springs, and I was asked by the Chimino family to represent the city of Trinidad. And so they had a little celebration at the Mount Carmel Veterans Center in Colorado Springs, and I spoke on behalf of the city of Trinidad. The dealerships, the Phil Long dealerships are running a special in the month of April. And they're going to contribute to 5, Mr. Chimino was great for the Power of 5. So there are 5 charities that they have earmarked for donations, and one of them is our Mount Carmel Center. So I spoke on behalf, I hope I did you well. And one thing that is really important, on April 6th from 10 to 2 at the Commons area at Space to Create, History Colorado, the chairperson of History Colorado, her name is Dawn DePrince, is coming down to Trinidad, and what she's going to speak about, there's been a group of citizens in Trinidad that have been concerned about the demise of the Bloom, it's Blam, Baca.
Yeah, right.
Bloom,
That's a
Blam,
bad building.
the Bloom Baca museums, and finally, with the help of Ty Winter, the History Colorado Board's coming to Trinidad, and the presentation is from 10 to 2. So I would appreciate, I'm going to go, I think it's important. That museum was such a beautiful spot years ago, and it's been somewhat neglected by the state. So I think we need, in a unified voice, to express to Mr. Prince and the rest of the board that we want the museum back in the condition that it was 5 or 6 years ago. So other than that, I have nothing. Item 10, reports by city manager and city attorney.
Mayor, Council, just one quick report for me tonight. In the next, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to begin dredging the pond at Central Park to remove the cattails out there. So that should be a really nice thing. But I do want to just let everybody know there will be a time period where the organic debris that's dredged out will have to sit there to de-water. So there'll be a little inconvenience for a little while, but then once that process happens, we'll haul it off. So, but definitely a good thing ongoing, and
Yes.
the goal is to not have the cattails ever come back. So
Okay.
that's it.
Okay, and if I may, please, are you gonna save some of the cattails?
Yeah, some of them will.
Okay,
actually-
good,
Yeah,
good,
but-
good, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
Mayor, I just wanted to ask that question, and
Yeah, so.
if I could, please, I just want to say, as you said, Mayor, at the beginning of the meeting, we did not have the executive session this evening because we didn't have a quorum. And I'm sorry, we should have really probably called everybody to let you know that there was going to be an executive session at 5:30. Just kind of putting it on the agenda isn't really good notice, so I'm sorry that we didn't do that. We'll be having that executive session next Monday at the council work session. So if it's early, we'll let you know. If it's afterwards, you will be here anyway. So anyway, just kidding. Oh, yeah, and I'm sorry, we really kind of need to emphasize that because it's the kind of thing you wouldn't notice otherwise. I did want to say, I don't think we've had a regular meeting since we had our board and commission training. And we had I think, a very successful board and commission training. Thank you to the mayor for being there. Thank you to Councilman Trujillo for being there, and to Councilman Ogletree for also being there. I think that was everyone from council. But Sam Light came down from Sirsa, and it was well attended. It was a good meeting, and it was a good training. I hope everyone else agrees. Councilman Williamson, I did have a couple of questions about your proposed ordinance on the wildlife contact that you suggested, but I could ask you afterwards, yeah, okay, good.
There's several cities that have done it, and I think we could pretty easily model after one of them. And I think it's important, I don't want to turn this into a work session.
Sure.
We'll go aside.
Yeah, sure, sounds great, thank you, I kind of did that, sorry.
But that's all I have, Madam Mayor and Council, unless you have.
That was big.
It was.
There being no further business before council, item 11 is adjournment. I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
call the vote, please.
Shu,
Yes.
Devono,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Meeting's adjourned.
Look at this.